గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ఎవ్రీవన్. ఏంటి చాలా స్ట్రెంత్ చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది ఈరోజు. ఇంతేనా మీ స్ట్రెంత్? ఎగ్జామ్సా? ఓకే. సో ఇంకా ఎవరైనా రావాల్సి ఉంటే హ్యాంగ్ ఫాస్ట్గా రమ్మని చెప్పండి. నేనైతే క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను, వెయిట్ చేయను. ఓకే. సో యాజ్ యాజ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ల్యాబ్, ఓకే గైస్, మీరు ఉన్నదే తక్కువ మంది. ఎవరైనా నాయిస్ చేస్తే మాత్రం నేను అస్సలు స్పేర్ చేయను. అందరికీ చెప్తున్నాను, రూమ్లో ఎవరు నాయిస్ చేయకూడదు. ఉన్నదే తక్కువ మంది, సైలెంట్గా ఉండండి. ఓకే. Today, as part of this session, I'll be dealing with full stack lab, full stack, full stack development lab. I'm not sure if you are aware of HTML, CSS. Are you aware of this? HTML, CSS. Did you use in your day-to-day work? Like, how did you start learning about HTML and CSS? What do you know about HTML and CSS? Hmm? HTML, like, what is HTML? Hypertext markup language. What does it do? What does that mean? What does markup language mean? Huh? Web. So we'll use HTML for web page creation. But what is markup language? You said hypertext markup language. What is markup language? What is markup language? So do you know about C, C++? You have heard about all these programming languages, right? So markup language is also one such kind. But here we don't have any predefined syntax. Okay, no keywords, no tokens. Here we only define with tags. All we have is tags. Whatever the web page that we want to create. So whatever the design that we are creating on the web page, it's all based on the tag. So tag-based language is what we call it as markup language. Markup language is nothing but a tag-based language because every line we write is based on the tag. Now tell me, can we create these tags on our own? Are all these tags are predefined or can we create on our own? Let's take an example. Are you aware of C? So what programming language are you aware of? C, C++, Python. Which language are you aware of so far? C. Are you aware of C, right? So in C, let's take an example of main function, right? Most of you, every one of you know that the starting line of the program execution starts with the main function, right? If we redefine the main function with a different name, for example, instead of main, I'll write some other name, main2, main3, or something else. Will the compiler be able to identify it's a main function? No, it will not be able to identify. So it has a predefined syntax, predefined keyword that it has to use. Then only it will be able to identify. Okay, but here it's not the case. In HTML, I can create my own tag as per my wish. There is no predefined tags that we have to use. Okay, I can create any tag of my wish. I can define my tags. So that's what we call it. That's why we call it as a markup language. Okay. Did you understand why we are calling it as a markup language? Okay. I'll not go in detail, but I'll give you some basics about what is HTML, and then we'll jump into the experiments. So in this HTML, we have something called tags. Tags and elements. So we have something called tags and elements. What is tags? What is elements? Any one of you? So you know what is HTML now? HTML is a hypertext markup language. So what does that mean? What markup language mean? It means that it's a user-defined tag. There is no predefined syntax. We can create the web page based on the tags that we define. So all the design or the UI that shown in the website or web application, it's based on the tag that we create, right? And it is a predefined tag. We can, I mean, it's not a predefined tag. It's a user-defined tag. We can create our own tags, and whatever we want to see on the screen, that will define using the tags that we have. Okay. So this is what markup language is. So within this, there are few other keywords like tags and elements. What are tags? What are elements? So here you can see an example. I have head. Okay. This is kept in between open and close triangle braces. Okay. So this is what we call it as tag. Okay. And within a tag, whatever the values that we create, we call it as elements. These elements can be text, can be class, can be style, whatever it could be. This is a class, this is a text, or it can be some other style. We'll see what styles are, what classes are, we'll see later. But you need to understand, head is something we call it as a tag. And the data which we are putting inside the tags is what we call it as elements. Okay, got it? Any questions? And then we have something called attributes. What are attributes? What are attributes? So here we have something called meta. Meta is the tag. So there is an attribute associated with it. What is that attribute? Char set. Char set is the attribute. That means attribute is nothing but parameters. Parameters to the tag that we are giving. For example, I have created a tag with name A. So if there are any parameters associated to it. Guys, నేను స్టార్ట్ చేయకముందు చెప్పాను నాయిస్ రాకూడదని చెప్పి వినకపోతే సైలెంట్ కూర్చోండి రైట్ సో దెర్ ఇస్ a tag we have meta tag. Okay, for this meta tag we are giving some parameters as an input, which is what is that parameter? Char set. This is what we call it as attribute. So in your coding, when it comes to your C program, you'll write a function. Okay, for that function you will give some input parameters. So those parameters are given as form of tags in HTML. Okay, that we call it as an attribute. Okay, what is tag? Anything we define between triangular braces is called tag. What is element? Defined within the tags is called elements. What is attributes? Parameters to the tag is called attribute. So this is a tag, this is a parameter, this is what we call as an attribute. Okay, these are some of the keywords. And then we have structure. So for an HTML, what is the structure? So first we'll define the document type. So see, entire this web page is nothing but a document, right? So when you're trying to open google.com, it's a document, the document type, right? So every web page is a kind of a document. Okay. So every document has a type, what kind of document it is, right? So that is, so every document has a type. What kind of document it is what it, that is what it defines. So this is the document type. And then here we need to understand what will be the structure. For any kind of a document, we have a header. There should be a heading, right? For example, you're creating your Word document. In your Word document, first you'll give your title. Okay, let's take an example of your lab manual. Your lab manual will have a title of what lab it represents, right? So that is the head. And then the body. The body contains all the experiments and related data, right? That is what body. So this is what the structure is. So every HTML document will have a title that is defined within the head tag and then the body. So this is the structure of a HTML program. Okay. Any questions? So how we will define this head title and the structure we'll see later. But an HTML structure generally has a head and a body. That is what you need to understand. Okay. Any questions? Okay. We'll quickly jump to the tags. Okay. Before jumping to the tags, I have to tell you something. So we have something called DOM. Do you ever heard about DOM? There is something called DOM. Yeah, you're not aware, right? So in full stack development, DOM is something which is very important for you to understand what exactly DOM is. Okay. Let's do one thing. So afternoon we have a session again, right? A continuation session. You go do some research what DOM is. Okay. Try to understand what DOM is. And you come up with your own answer. I'll tell you what DOM is in the afternoon session. Okay. Entire full stack is based on the DOM. What is DOM is something you need to understand. Okay. Do some research. Google that or use some AI tools, chat GPT, whatever it is. Check what DOM is. And then come up with your own answer. I'll let you know what exactly DOM is. Okay. Uh, So in the afternoon session, let's discuss about DOM. So I'll quickly jump to the first experiment and as part of it, I'll define what. So your first experiment is talking about lists, links, and images. Write a HTML program to explain the working of lists. It should have an ordered list, unordered list, nested list, an ordered list in an unordered list, and definition list. Okay. So your first experiment states that we need to create a list. Okay. Let's see how we'll create a list. Okay. In the HTML style. So here the very first line states document style, which is of type HTML. So as I said, every document will has its own style. Okay. So for HTML, we'll say it as document type as HTML. So then only it will define this entire code as HTML format. For example, let's see. If I am removing this, okay, I have saved this. Let me run and show you. So here I have the document type as HTML. Okay. And let me save this and run this. Let's see how it display. So you can see it has created the HTML page. Forget about what is the content that I have. I'll tell you what it is. But let me show you without the document type. Let's remove that line and let me show you how it displays. Okay. Did you see any difference between these two? One is with document type style and other is without document type style. There is no difference. So ideally, this is just to define what type of file it is, but it's not mandatory that we need to put document style all the time. Ideally, DOM handles that. What I said, DOM, right? DOM handles that ideally. So we are not explicitly required to mention for every HTML code that what type of file it is. Okay, DOM basically handles it based on the script that it has. So you try on your own, like by removing and by adding the document type style. Okay, and then next is HTML. So this is where the actual markup language starts. So within this tag, whatever you define, that will be displayed on the web page. Okay. So within this HTML, we have something called attribute. What is this? Lang is a what lang is? Lang is attribute. It's a parameter, right? For the tag, it's a parameter. So this is an attribute which is saying EN. EN means English. So every HTML page can be in any language. It can be in Spanish, Britain, whatever it is. So we need to define what kind of language the HTML document was defined. So here my language is in English, and that's where I am defining the language for the HTML doc. And then I have my header. Okay. Within this header, I have the meta char set. What does that represent? It represents the Unicodes. So zeros, ones, symbols, all kind of data can be displayed on the web page. So to include all those, I need to include this char set. Okay. And then the title says list example. Okay. Where this is title defined? See. Where can you see this title? On the tab name. Right. If I change the title there, the tab name will also change. For example, if you're doing google.com, okay, your tab name will be Google. Okay, or whatever it is defined. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing. You can always change the title names even for Google as well. Okay. The title name. So like this title name, even for Google page also, if you inspect the element and if you change it in the HTML, you'll still be able to see that sheet also. Let's try with that once. let's see. Okay, I have opened my Google what Google search engine page, and then here I'm trying to inspect. Okay, and if I hover here, it will show me where this tag was within head. This is Google, right? This is what you're able to see within the title, right? Let me change it to some name. Can you see? You can change the title name of the Google page itself by inspecting the elements. So title is, that is what title represents. You can see the title got changed. Earlier it was Google, right? Now it became Kite. Okay. When you refresh it back, it will be back again like Google. We can edit, but we can't save those changes. Okay. That is what it is. I hope you understand what title is now. Right? Got it? Okay, let's jump back. So that is what it represents. The title represents the tab, like what the page is about, where what we want to see on the tab. And then the char set represents what type of elements that we're using, whether it is in only characters, words, whatever it is, kind of. Okay, and then this is what we will put it in the headers. Coming to body. So within this body, what does your experiment say? So within, as part of your experiment, you need to define the ordered list, unordered list, nested list, and ordered list in an unordered list and definition list. So these are something that you need to create in your web page. Let's see how we can create. Okay. So within my body, I have created an ordered list. Okay. So for ordered list, this is a tag that we need to use, OL. This is defined. Okay. Whenever you want to print an ordered list, we need to use OL. Okay. And then within this OL, how many tags you create? So LI means it's a single element. Okay. This is the tag to represent a single element as a list. Okay. LI means list. So single element as a list. So within this order list, I have two elements that need to be listed. One is item 1, second is item 2. These two are the elements in the list that I want to display in the ordered form. Okay, that is what represents. OL means ordered list, LI means list. And how many tags you include within LI, within ordered list, it will display all those things in an ordered format. First defines first of the second, one after the other, element by element. Okay, this is for the ordered list. And H2 is the header. So H1, H2, H3 are three different headers. H1 is the main header, H2 is the subheader, and H3 is a third level header. Like the sizes will define. Okay, we can create our own sizes. If not, we can use whatever is existing here in the HTML form. Okay. And then the next is unordered list. Within unordered list, I have two elements, apple and banana, two fruits. So this is wrapped under unordered list, UL. Ordered means OL, unordered means UL. So when you refresh the screen in the DOM, if you see for ordered list, I have item 1 and item 2. Okay. For unordered list, I have apple and banana. Can you tell me what is the difference? Huh? What is the difference between ordered list and unordered list? Huh? Bullets means? Right. Ordered list is printed with numbers. So what does that mean? Order. So if you see the code, we did not specify anything. Okay, we just give it as a list of elements. So this is a list. This is one list. We did not define the numbers, but for ordered list, it will assign the sequence that we have given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Whereas for unordered list, it will just print it as an element with a bullet point kind of. Okay. Any questions? Now, do you understand how to create an ordered list and unordered list? What is HTML? What is language? Okay. What is attribute? How will be the structure? What are elements? What are tags? All these are you aware now? Is it clear? Okay. Now we have done with ordered list and unordered list. Let's create the nested list. What is nested list? Nested list. You usually use if else cases, right? If else if. All these are nested loops. So similarly here itself, here it is. Another list, right? So that is what nested list is. So I have created an unordered list. Within this unordered list, I have created one more list of ordered format. Okay. So if you see here in the nested list, I have created an unordered list. Okay. Within this unordered list, I have one element, which is fruit. Within this fruit, I have an ordered list of fruits in ordered format. So loop or in if case within an if case, as simple as that. Okay. Nested for loop, a loop within a for loop. Okay. Nested if, a loop with an if case within an if condition. Okay. Any questions? Let's see how it defines. You can see when I have created an unordered list, it created with bullet point fruit. And within this unordered list, I've created a ordered list of fruits. And you can see the order 1, mango, 2, orange. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Next is definition list. So what is definition list? Are you aware of what is definition list? Definition list. So what is definition list? Definition list is nothing but a condition kind of. See, in your regular day to day, when you're writing a code, so when you have to write, check whether the person is eligible for vote or not, how you are going to write? You are going to take the age And using that age, you are going to apply the condition criteria. If age greater than 18, display this, otherwise display this kind of. That is the condition that you are going to write, right? In the same way, in HTML format also, if we have to define a condition, so we will be using the definition list. Okay, this is the way to define the conditions. How we are going to define that? Here you can see DL. DL means definition list. Okay. And DT. What does DT mean? Definition term. What is that I'm defining? Okay. And what does DD mean? The condition that it has to execute. Okay. That is what it defines. Let me show you how it displays on the screen. Okay. So here if you see, when what all I have defined as a definition term DT, that will be the heading. So kind of if statement. For example, if you're checking the eligibility for vote, if age greater than 18, so definition term, if age greater than 18, execute this. That means definition done, DD. Execute this. Else, DT again. Do this. That is how it is. Okay. Any questions? Other laptops లేవా? ఓకే ఫాస్ట్గా నోట్ చేసుకోండి. సో మనకి డే లాంగ్ లేదు. క్విక్గా ఆర్డర్ లిస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, అన్ఆర్డర్ లిస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఓకే, డెఫినేషన్ లిస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, డిటి అంటే ఏంటి, డిడి అంటే ఏంటి, ఎవ్రీ ట్యాగ్ కోసం మాత్రం నోట్ చేసుకోండి. ఈ కోడ్ అంతా నోట్ చేసుకోవాల్సిన లేదు, మీకు కోడ్ పంపిస్తాను నేను. ట్యాగ్ కోసం మాత్రం నోట్ చేసుకోండి ఫాస్ట్గా. నేను రివ్యూ చేస్తాను, మీకు 3 minutes టైం, నేను చెక్ చేస్తాను రాసిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరికి కరెక్ట్ రాస్తారా అని. ఓకే, ఫాస్ట్గా. All kind of tags. Pass. All kind of tags. ఈ కోడ్ అంతా రాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఆ ట్యాగ్ అంటే ఏంటి అది వరకు రాయండి. ఇప్పుడు దాకా చెప్పిన ఏ ట్యాగ్స్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, యాట్రిబ్యూట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఎలిమెంట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఓకే, హెచ్టిఎంఎల్లో క్యార్సెట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఓకే, ట్యాగ్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ ఆర్డర్ లిస్ట్ ఏంటి, అన్ఆర్డర్ లిస్ట్ ఏంటి, అండ్ డెఫినేషన్ లిస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, నెస్టెడ్ లిస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఓకే, దీని వరకు. Okay. రాస్తుండండి. Meanwhile, I'll check. This is 1B of your experiment. Okay. See, what does 1B states? Write a HTML program to explain the working of hyperlinks using a tag and href tag attributes. What does hyperlink mean? Okay. Links. Nothing much. Like, see, for example, if you're searching for something, the browser gives the list of all the references. For example, if you're searching for C++, with C++ tag, you'll have multiple links that you can see on your screen in the search engine. So when you click on any link, you'll be navigated to that page and you'll get start reading the data, right? That's how it works. Now, when you're creating your own website, you should also be able to put those links. How we are going to put those links is using href. Okay. So this is what it is. Let me go through the code once. So you know what doc type is. It has to tell you what the this is the document type of HTML. That is what document type represents. And then language means English. What in which language this HTML document was coded. Okay. And then header contains the char set UTF-8, which we are using to represent all kind of characters, numbers, text, symbols, everything. Right? For that, you will be using UTF-8. It means encoder. It's a simple encoder. Okay. And then you have something called title. This title is what will be displayed on the tab name. Okay. And within the body, I have created a H2. H2 means header. Okay. And then I have created an A tag. A means why we are using A tag. We'll create a link. A tag will create a link. So that's the reason we are using A tag. And we are giving href. A tag will create the link, but to which link it has to navigate, that href will define. Okay, whatever the website or link that we place in href, to that link it will navigate. A tag will create the linkage between the href and the tag name that we have given. Okay, and then target. Target shows blank because here I don't have any target. I just kept it blank. In your case, if you want, if there are any website or if you want to put your college website, you can put it here. Okay. And then I have my word, go to Google. Okay. And then I am breaking that link. I am breaking that link and creating another link. If you don't break, both the links will be clubbed. It'll, I mean, when you try to run this, when you try to run this, you can see there is a go to Google and JNT website, right? If you don't break, two links will become side by side. Okay. That's the reason we are breaking that line. So that's the reason we are using BR tag. BR tag don't have any closure. It's a single tag without any closure. And then here, if I click on go to Google, it will go to the Google website because my href contains Google web page. And similarly, JNTUK website, it will go to JNTUK website. Okay. Let me click on JNTU website. It went to JNTU website. Okay. So that's how I create links. Any questions? What does target mean? Did you understand what does target mean? You're not getting it, right? So for example, let's see. Huh? Class Target is one kind of class, but there is a meaning here. Target is a class. That is something I agree. But there is a meaning. There is a meaning for blank and underscore self also. What is that something? I leave it to you. So you try changing these classes between the tags and see what it will happen. It will be displayed on the UI. Okay. It's a style, simple style. That's it. It's nothing new. You can see the see. Now, when I click on go to Google, it is going to a new page. Okay. This page is as it is. Okay. When I click on JNTU website, within this page itself, the JNTU website is getting loaded. So in the top, you don't see the tab. Your hyperlink tab will not be seen. If I go back, it will come back here. But when you click on Google, it will create a new tab. That is the difference. So when you do blank, so that means that link will be navigated to in a new tab. But when you do self, within the same page itself, that website will be loaded. So that is the difference. That is the difference of styling. Okay. Understood what target is? Clear? Okay. Again, 2 more minutes. Quickly make a note of what each tag is. After completing the first experiment, I will check few of your classmates' notes to understand if you are getting it or not. Okay? నాకు కొద్దిగా నించొని చెప్పడానికి చాలా డిస్కంఫర్ట్గా ఉంది. హైట్ లేదు నా హైట్కి. నాకు చాలా ఇబ్బంది ఉంది, అందుకని కూర్చొని చెప్తున్నా. బట్ లెట్ మీ నో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ కంఫర్టబుల్. ఓకే, క్విక్గా write about the tags that we have used so far. 2 minutes. Did you understand what target is? What target means? What is underscore self and what is blank? For what? For self. Okay. Right. What is the tag BR states here? BR tag. Break off? What? BR breaks what? Line. It's not paragraph. BR breaks the line. It will go to the next line. BR is break only, but it will break the line. Okay. In 1C, let's see what it is. So create an HTML document that has your image and your friend's image with a specific height and width. Also, when clicked on the image, it should navigate to their respective profiles. Okay. Now, can you tell me what the target should be? Based on C, what should be the target? It should be blank or self? When also when clicked on the image, it should navigate to their respective profiles. It should be self. Self is because within the same page, it has to navigate. Okay. Let's see the code. Again, here I have created the HTML document. I have created the language for the HTML document. And I have created the head. Head says metadata, what kind of data that HTML has. And the title is the tab name. Tab name will be the title. And then within my body, I have created the title image navigation. Okay. Within this body, I have created the tag. Okay. This tag has href. Href means address to where it has to navigate. And then target. Target, my underscore blank means in a new tab. But here it should be self. So you can make the change accordingly. I don't mind whatever you pick. Okay. And then you have given the address. But what does it say? When you click on the image, right? So that's the reason I am creating an image here. Earlier, when I have created go to Google text, but here in this here they're asking to put an image. Okay. That's the reason I am loading an image here. Okay. And for that image, I am defining the height and width. Okay. And what does ALT mean? What does ALT mean? ALT means name. Name of that image. Here I don't have an appropriate image. So it is showing you like this. For you have to put some images, download some random images, upload into the, paste it in the folder where you have the code, and then link that image to your code. Okay, then your image will be displayed. I have taken the random images here. It will not display anything. That doesn't mind. But the image is same. If you click here, it will go to his profile. Okay, I've randomly taken some profiles from this internet. Okay. So what are the name that I give, that I define in ALT tag, that name will be displayed under the image name. Okay. Here, if you see, my name is my image in ALT. Okay. You can see here, my image. I did not break the code here. So it became line by line. Okay. If I break the code here, okay, you can see it got updated. Okay. Got it? Understood? So earlier I have used go to Google JNTU website, that text. Okay. Now I am using the image. Only that is the difference. Remaining all is same. Okay. Any questions? Go through the code once and let me know if you have any questions. Getting it? Any questions? Quickly make a note of IMG ALT, height, width. All this IMG, aimed, ALT, height and width tags. What are the parameters? What are the tags? Quickly make a note. మీకు బ్రేక్ ఎన్ని గంటలకి? 12. 12:30కి వెళ్ళినా పర్లేదుగా. 12:30కి వెళ్ళి 1:30కి రండి. మీకు కూడా అదేగా, 12:30కి వెళ్ళి 1:30కి రండి. Done? Okay, let's move to the next thing. See, what does the final like 1D says? Write a HTML program in such a way that rather than placing the large image on a page, the preferred technique is to use thumbnails by setting the height and width parameters to something like 100 by 100 pixels. Each thumbnail image is also a link to a full-sized version of an image. Create the image gallery using this technique. Thumbnail. What does thumbnail mean? Thumbnail. We usually hear about thumbnails, right? What does thumbnail mean? Okay. If you see in the previous example, I have used the image directly. So if I have an appropriate image, that will be displayed in a bigger size, 150 by 150, 150 by 200 pixel size. Instead, I will create a small pixel size. Okay. For example, let's see, if you log into Google or Gmail, at the top right corner, you'll see your profile icon with a smaller size. It's a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail to navigate to your profile. Okay. Similarly, what they're saying is create a smaller image, and when you click on that image, you need to navigate to your profile. That is what we are saying. Here, what you need to do is, in the previous example and now as well, import your own images, whatever you would like. See what is the difference between an image rendering and thumbnail rendering. It's just because of the size it displays. Okay. The code will be the same. You can see the code wise, it will be same still. There is no difference between thumbnail and an image other than the size of the image. Remaining all will be same. Okay. Any questions on the thumbnail? From anyone? So we are done with first experiment. So simple, right? ఈజీగానే ఉందా లేదా? ఏ మార్నింగ్ ఏం తినలేదా ఏంటి? తినలేదా? క్లాస్లో ఎవరు లేరు. ఎందుకని? 4 బ్యాచెస్ కదా ఈ ల్యాబ్. క్లాస్లో ఎందుకు ఎవరు లేరు? ఎగ్జామ్ అప్లికేషన్సా? ఈరోజు లాస్ట్ డేటా? మరి ఈరోజు వరకు ఏం చేశారు? ఐసి మధ్యాహ్నం వస్తారు అందరూ? మధ్యాహ్నం కూడా రారా? పోనీ రికార్డింగ్ చూస్తారా? రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది ఇది. ఓకే, క్విక్లీ మేక్ ఎ నోట్. నేను ఇప్పుడు ఎవరెవరు ఏం రాస్తారని చూస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు దాకా చెప్పిన ఈ 4 మాడ్యూల్స్, ట్యాగ్స్ అండ్ అదర్ అట్రిబ్యూట్స్, దాని డెఫినేషన్స్ నాకు చెప్పాలి. 5 minutes టైం. ఓకే, మనకి ఎక్కువ టైం కూడా లేదు. ఇంకో 2 ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి వెళ్తురు కానీ. ఓకే. ఫాస్ట్గా. అయిపోయిందా? డన్. హెచ్ఎఫ్ ఏ బై రాసారా? ఏంటి 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 హైపర్ లింక్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది? ట్యాక్స్ ఏవి? ట్యాక్స్ ట్యాక్స్ కోసం రైట్. కూర్చో కూర్చో కూర్చో. బ్లాంక్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? సెల్ఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? రైట్. కూర్చో. ఆ? ఉమ్, ఉమ్. ఆ, అవి కూడా ఉన్నాయి. నెక్స్ట్ చెప్తా. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ చూడండి. Second experiment, HTML tables, forms, and frames. So we need to create the tables, forms, registration forms. You know registration forms, right? You'll submit few of your personal information, like what are the information it will be. You submit the information, how it will be, like how we can create in HTML. That is what we will see here. And then frames. What is frames is also something we'll see. Okay, let's go to the code. Okay, so you know what doc type is, and then you know what HTML is. So you know what language is. You know what head and title, meta, charset. All these things you are aware by now, right? Let's quickly jump to the body. So I need to create a table. For that, I have a tag called table tag. Okay. Within this table tag, I have an attribute of border. Okay. That means I need to create a table. For my table, I need to get a border line. That is what it represents. So here I have set my border size as 1. Whenever the size set as 1, that line will be displayed. You can see if I run it here, you can see there is a border that got created. Border, right? For the table. So that is what it is. The border attribute defines. Okay. So within the table tag, I have created a border attribute and if given set some size. And what is TR represents? What is TR? Huh? Table row. Within this table row, I have name. Okay. And then I have details. There are two rows. Two rows or two columns. Within the first row, I have name and column. I mean, name and details, two different columns. That is what it represents. Next, the second row contains table data. Okay. What is TH here? Table header. And then COL span means what does it represent? Right. It defines a space. Okay. And then TR represents table record. And within this table record, I have TD, table data. So John, age, city are data in the first row, in first record. And in the next record, I have some other data. That is what it represents. So in this way, I have created three different rows with the data. Agreed? Any questions? Let's see how it displays on the DOM. You can see for John, I have age and city. For Jane, I have age and city, but Jane is the same name that I have in two rows. Why is that? Why is that? Can you tell me? So when I'm writing the table data, I have given only two tags. So within the space that I have, how many tags that I create, it will distribute. Okay. So when I have only two tags, it will create only two columns in that particular row. But when I have three tags, it will create three columns within this particular row. Okay. So now if I include John here, let's see what happens. You can see John, right? City has come to a side because column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay. Any questions? If I remove John from here, and if you see similarly, like similar to the first row, if you want data here, what you need to do is you need to remove the row span tag. So this is what this will create the style for two particular rows. And if you refresh this, and if you save it here, let's see how the DOM represents. See what happened. For Jane column, it has allocated only one particular record. Let's say space in terms of record. Okay. If I include column span as 2, row span as 2, that means it will take 2 records as one row, one thing. You're getting it? Similarly, the same thing applies for column span as well. For details, I have taken 2. Instead, let me take only 1. Let's see how it represents. It has taken only one particular column. If I keep 2, it will take 2 columns as its space. Okay? You getting it? See. 3, 4 are not getting displayed. You know why? Because I don't have the data. If I populate the data here, 3, 4 will also be displayed. Now I'll keep it as 1. I'll keep it as 2. Similarly, row span, I'll keep it as 1. If I have third data, it will reflect there. But I don't have third record. And it is not reflecting. Got it? Any questions? Quickly make a note of these tags. Only tags. Okay, this is how I will create a table. Okay, let's see. Let's see how to create a timetable with caption. Okay, again, uh, so most of the tags that I've used here were already discussed in the previous table section. Here I have added one more thing, caption. What does caption states? What does caption states? Title. Title, simple, right? If we run this, let's see how the DOMS is. So do you see how the caption is displayed? On the top of the table. Header is something different, caption is something different. Here, weekly timetable is the header. Second year, second semester schedule is the caption. Okay. Let's try to render it along with this. Okay. Here within the table tag, I have a class called border, right? Earlier I said when the border is given as one, with one as a width, the border will be displayed. Let's make it 2. Let's make it 3. Can you see the difference? What does border is? Can you see the difference? Okay. This is how the border works. And then cell spacing. What does cell spacing mean? Distance between two cells. You're seeing the difference? Okay. Every cell, there is a 67-inch difference. Okay. And then what is cell padding? Cell spacing means between cells. Cell padding means within cells. I mean, like for example, we have day. Okay. If I increase the padding here, see how it became. Cell size will be same, but within the cell, the space has increased. That is what cell padding is. You can see the difference, right? Cell space did not change, but within the cell, the spaces for the border has changed. Any questions on cell spacing and cell padding? Clear? And then you know the caption. Caption is the title for the table, the title for the image, you can say. Okay. And then what is TR? Table record. TH, table header. So the first record is a table header, which says day 9 to 10 a.m., 11 to 10 to 11 a.m. That is the header. Okay. And then again in the TR tape record, next record, I have the data. Data as Monday, Max, and Physics. Okay. And then in the third record, I have Tuesday as day. And within table record, I am clubbing two particular columns and creating it as one and naming it as lab. Okay. If I keep it as one, what will happen? Only the first column will be filled. Second column will not be filled. So instead, I'll make it as 2. In your timetable, you have two different, uh, for 2 slots, there'll be one continuous lab will happen, right? It is same as that. Now, as an assignment, I want you to create your own timetable in this using HTML. Okay? Take that as an assignment. Okay? And for this lab, I'll be grading you. I'll be giving you the marks. I'll be taking you the Viva. So make sure you complete all your assignments, which I'm mentioning in the class. Everyone. Okay? Right. Next. So with this, creation of timetable got completed. So very straightforward, right? We did not use anything new than the previous one. 2A. 2B is also same lines. Any questions? Let me know. We'll quickly jump to the third one. Creating a registration forms. You have asked a question, right? When I have a question and I have 4 different options. So I need to select one option. You can see here for gender, I have male and female. I need to select one. How I'm going to take that? You can see it here. Okay. Let's see how it goes. So here I have created a header with name registration form. Okay. Because we need, so again, I'll be filling the data here. That data need to be collected. So this is all in the form of a form. And that's the reason I am using the tag called form. This form tag will gather all the data that was given here. Okay, clear? And now within this form tag, I am creating a table. Okay, so this entire thing is a table. Okay, for your simplicity, I am adding a border. Okay, okay. Now you can see what the table is. Okay, I have added a border. So all this is a table and I have added a border. And within this table, I have created the first record. In my first record, I have my table data as username. That is fixed. Okay. Here users has to fill their username. For that, I've created the second parameter. Here I'm taking input. When we use input tag, that means that whatever data that users type here will be recorded. Okay. For that purpose, we'll use input tag. So within input tag, I've given type as text. Okay. And then the name equal to username. So whatever the data that I fill here, for example, I'm filling my name, that will be stored with a variable name called username. So that's the name. That's the reason I gave my name it as username here. Okay. For example, I just say name here. What does that mean? Whatever the data that I give here, that will be stored with a variable name called name. Okay. Any questions? Because I'm giving text here, I could able to give text. And if I give it numbers, it will still take it as numbers, but the data type will be similar to text again in the background. Instead, I can give it as a number here. If I give it as a number here, when I try to type the text, I can't type. I'm trying to type here. I can't type. But when I try to give numbers, it will take numbers. Okay. You try yourself. When I'm trying to give my name here, it will not be able to print. If we put it as a number. Okay. And then when we give it as a password, password should be encrypted. It should not be displayed, right? You can see the format. Whatever I'm typing, it is getting encrypted. Got it? Clear? Right. So for username, it should be a text. I'm giving it as text. So whatever that name that I give here, it will be stored with name called with variable name as username. Similarly, in the next record, I have to give the password. Users will enter the password here. All this data we will record and keep it in somewhere in the DB. So that is all again a full story of full stack development. That is secondary, but whatever we fill here, we'll store it in a variable and we'll directly dump into the DB. Okay, that's a big story. Forget about that. I'm explaining you how to fill the form here, how to create the forms. And then I have to create my mobile number. For that, I've given the type as number because only numbers can be entered. If you can see, when I try to enter any text also, it will not fill. But when I try to give numbers, it will fill. There is a drop down here. You can see, right? Whenever you give the type as number, you have this type of facility where it will show you the increment and decrement. Ideally, this will not have any use. You just need to simply type the number, whatever you feel. Okay. And then you have date of birth. For that, you have used the type as date. So that if you click here, you can select the date. Got it? 130. 1230 to 130. So here you can give the date. Okay. So whenever you give the type as date, you will be able to select the date. Okay. And then the fourth record, I'm trying to put the gender, for which the type is the radio button. So then you'll see this radio button. You can select this or this. For this, you'll be using the type as radio button. So this is what your question was. For a given question, there are 4 options. For 4 options, we'll give the type as radio button like this, and it will give 4 different radio options. And whatever the value that is selected, that value will be recorded here under the variable name as gender. In this case, in the examination case, it will be named as answer, kind of whatever it is. And here will be the options for the question. Okay, this question was when we have to submit an answer for like an MSET question where I have a question and 4 different options. How I can give that? This is how we can give it. Here I have given horizontally. Instead, you can break it here. It became vertical. Got it? Very simple, right? Right. And then hobbies. Again, it's a checklist. Difference between radio button and checklist. Can anyone tell me difference between radio button and checklist? Checklist can be multiple. Radio button will be one. If you define radio button, only one option you can put. You have multiple choice questions, right? There we'll be using checklist. Got it? ఇవన్నీ మీకు ముందు అయ్యాయా? అవ్వలేదా? ఇదే ఫస్ట్ టైమా? మరి అందరూ తెలిసినట్టున్నారు, బట్ గుడ్. మీకు తెలుసుంటే ఐఎమ్ హ్యాపీ. అట్లీస్ట్ అర్థమవుతుంది అనుకోవచ్చు. అంతేనా? ఓకే. అగైన్ మల్టిపుల్ చాయిస్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్నిటికీ ఇట్స్ ఎ చెక్ లిస్ట్. Okay. And then we have country. So in this country, I have selected a drop down list, right? For drop down, I need to create something like name as country and I have to give the options. So what all options I include here, those many options will be displayed and I can select one of them. Okay. For that, I need to do this select option. Got it? And then finally comments. Comments I can give space and I can say comment so that there'll be a set of size. When I'm giving text, there'll be a set of size. For example, to 50 characters or something. But when I say type as comments, like type as text or whatever it is. It will give the flexibility to set the size of number of characters, number of words that we are giving it as an input. Okay. Here you can see I have allocated 3 rows and 20 columns of space for that comment section. So those many records I can fill. Okay. And next is submit or reset. When I do reset, everything will be gone. When I click on submit, it will send all the details what I have filled. Okay. So again, when type is reset, it will clear all the data. When type is submit, it will submit the response. Okay. Any questions? Are you clear? With this, we have created a registration form. Okay. And then there is one more module, which is frames. Okay. I'll show you how we are creating frames. Huh? You sit and speak loudly. డేట్ ఆఫ్ బర్త్ సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తే మొత్తం వస్తుందా అంటే ఇది ఎలా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తుందా ఓకే సి హియర్ we have type called date, right? This for this type, HTML has a background code for picking up this entire calendar. So for all, not only this date, for number, password, everything, there is a definition allocated there in the background. So whenever you type, it is encrypting. That means your password is not visible to the viewers. So that's the reason we have encrypted that. So for that, it is defined with type as password. Similarly, for type date, it is defined in the background that it will populate the entire calendar and it will give an option to pick the date. It's a predefined. In HTML, we can use predefined and user defined also. Okay. Any questions? Okay. When it comes to frames, the same thing we'll do it in the frames also. But for frames, instead of writing in the same HTML code, we'll try to import the other HTML code in this particular main HTML. It's as simple as your header files. For example, you have included stdio.h header file, right? For io.h, there is a code associated and it was written in a different file. And that file we are including in the .cpp file, and we are trying to use the C, like C in Cout or std, all input output stream classes, whatever it is. Okay. In the header file, it is already defined, and that we are using it here in the .cpp file. Got it? Similarly, for frames, we will define in some other HTML. So here I have defined in paragraph.html file. And this file I'll be importing here in the actual HTML file, and I'll be running the code. It's similar to importing the library or importing the form from somewhere in this particular file. అదవుతుందా నా ఈ పర్టికులర్ కోడ్ ఇంకేదో ఫైల్లో ఉంది, అది నేను ఇక్కడ ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నా అంతే. ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకుని వాడుకుంటున్నా ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ మళ్ళీ నేను అది రీరైటింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్క్రాచ్. మళ్ళీ నేను ఫస్ట్ నుంచి రాయకుండా ఇంకో దగ్గర ఎక్కడ ఉంటే అది నేను ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకొని యూజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. అది ఫ్రేమ్స్ అంటే. ఫ్రేమ్స్ నేను మీకు నేను మీకు ఈ కోడ్లో ఉంది ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఫ్రేమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, కానీ నేను మీకు చూపించిన ఎలా రన్ చేసి మీరు మీ ఓన్గా ట్రై చేయాలి ఫ్రేమ్స్. ఎందుకంటే ఫ్రేమ్స్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇదంతా కమెంట్ చేసి ఇది ఒక్కటే ఎనేబుల్ చేయాలి అంతే. ఇది ఒక్కటే ఎనేబుల్ చేస్తే వర్క్ అవుతుంది, కానీ అది మీకు వదిలేస్తున్నా. మీరు చేసి ఏంటి అసైన్మెంట్ లాగా చేసుకుని రావాలి. జస్ట్ దట్ మొత్తం బాడీ అంతా రిమూవ్ చేసి ఫ్రేమ్ మాత్రం రన్ చేస్తారు అంతే. యాజ్ సింపుల్ యాజ్ దట్. ఓకేనా? ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్? ఓహో! ఓకే. ఓకే. ఫ్రేమ్స్ వరకు మీరు లోడ్ చేయండి. ఓకే. ఫ్రేమ్స్ కోడ్‌లో కూడా ఇందులో ఉంది. ఫ్రేమ్ అంటే అర్థమైంది కదా! వేరే డామ్‌లో ఉన్న డేటా మనకు డిస్‌ప్లే చేస్తాం అంతే. యాస్ సింపుల్ యాస్ థట్. నేను మీకు కోడ్ అంతా కూడా పంపిస్తా. ఎలా రన్ చేయాలో కూడా పంపిస్తా. అలా రన్ చేయండి. ఇంకేమైనా క్వెషన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? డన్? ఓకే. 120 కల్లా వచ్చేసేయండి. మిగతావి చేద్దాం. ఇంకో 8 ఉన్నాయి. క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే.